This is the Jasion EB7 2.0, a folding electric bike that actually feels planted at speed and smooth over rough pavement. I did not expect that from something that folds, and that is what made me pay attention after a few real rides. I put this in the folding fat tire electric bike category. It slots into that space for riders who want an everyday commuter that can also pull weekend duty without taking over a small apartment or a trunk. I wanted one bike I could bring along in a car, roll into an elevator, and still enjoy on a longer ride after work. That is exactly the use case I have been testing. The design makes sense once it is in daily rotation. The white and black frame looks clean, but what matters more is how solid the hinge and the main latch feel when I am riding. The fold is simple and the frame does not creak or feel twitchy. The tires are chunky 20-inch by 3-inch fat tires, and paired with front and rear suspension they take the sting out of cracked city streets and patched asphalt. The seat height and the handlebar height adjust easily, which is important for me because I am not average height. The pedals tuck in, the bars fold down, and the whole thing collapses on itself in about a minute once I got the motion down. The weight is real at about 59 pounds. I roll it whenever I can and avoid carrying it upstairs, but when I have to, I take my time and grab the frame at the balance point. There is a rear rack and full fenders already installed, and that saves me from hunting for extras. The only part of the design that feels a bit budget is the external wiring. It is not dangerous, just not as tucked as I have seen on more expensive bikes. In the rain, the stock pedals feel a little slippery, so I will swap those out. Setup was straightforward. Out of the box, I attached the handlebar, pedals, and seat, check the bolts, pump the tires, and charge the battery. The instructions are clear enough, though if someone is brand new to wrenching, a friend or a quick stop at a bike shop would speed things up. The control layout is beginner-friendly. The color liquid crystal display is bright in daylight and shows speed, battery level, and assist level at a glance. The assist buttons sit under my left thumb, and the half-twist throttle on the right gives me quick bursts when I need them, like starting from a light or clearing an intersection. I like that the display includes a universal serial bus port, because keeping a phone powered on longer rides is surprisingly useful for maps. On the road, the motor feels stronger than I expected. It is rated at around 700 watts and it peaks near 1,200 watts. That reads like a spec, but what it means is this. When I press the pedals at a light, the bike gets moving quickly without a lot of drama, even with a backpack and a small grocery bag on the rack. With pedal assist, I have rolled up to about 28 miles per hour on flat ground when I really wanted to move. On throttle only, I see right around 20 miles per hour. Those numbers matter because they translate to making green lights and keeping pace with traffic on city streets where I ride. On hills, the bike is good on moderate inclines. On steeper climbs, I still need to downshift the Shimano 7-speed and put in steady effort, which is fine by me. It is an electric bike, not a motorcycle. The brakes are disc brakes front and rear and they stop the bike predictably. No squeal so far after a few wet rides, and they bring the speed down smoothly without a long lever pull. Comfort is where this bike surprised me. Fat tires and dual suspension usually sound cushy but can feel vague. Here the combination just works. My local route includes a stretch of uneven pavement and some concrete seams that usually chatter through a bike. On the Jasion EB7 2.0, I feel the bumps, but I do not get rattled or knocked offline. The wheelbase feels stable, and the steering stays calm even at higher assist levels. That stability matters on longer rides because I can relax my shoulders and just pedal. Range always looks great on a product page and then lands somewhere different in real life. The brand claims up to about 55 miles per charge. In my mixed riding with frequent starts, some headwind, and all 5 assist levels depending on my mood, I get closer to 20 to 25 miles before I aim for a charger. If I keep it on lower assist and pedal more, I can stretch it a bit, but planning around 20 to 25 real miles keeps me stress-free. The removable battery is genuinely convenient for apartment living. I pop it off, bring it inside, and charge near my desk. No wrestling an entire bike through a hallway. Folding and transporting became part of my routine faster than I thought. After some practice, I can stop, flip the main latch, drop the bars, tuck the pedals, and get it compact in about a minute. It fits in the back of my truck without a fuss. I have also set it inside a compact car with the rear seats down, and it sits fine as long as I angle the front wheel. That flexibility is the whole point for me. I can drive out to a trailhead, ride a loop, and then fold it back up without a bike rack on the outside of the car. Night riding and rain rides gave me a good read on the safety gear. The front and rear lights are integrated and bright enough for city speeds. The rear light acts as a brake light, which drivers actually notice. Fenders keep road spray off my back, and the rack carries a small pannier or a couple of bungee-strapped bags without wobble. The one caveat is cable cleanliness. In wet weather, water and grit collect around the cable runs more than on fully internal setups, so I wipe it down after a storm ride. One of my favorite test loops runs from my apartment across a few neighborhoods to a waterfront path and back. On that loop, I deal with start and stop traffic, a couple of short hills, and then a smooth open section where I like to cruise. The Jasion EB7 2.0 handled that loop well. In traffic, I stay on assist level 3 or 4, so I have power on tap without jumping forward too hard. On the hills, I shift down and add my legs, and the motor fills the gaps without bogging. Once I hit the open path, I bump to level 5 and let it roll. The ride stays stable, and the seat remains comfortable for that longer, steady effort. On the way back, I use the throttle to rest my legs for a few minutes through a busy section. It is nice having that option to recover without stopping. I also try to train plus bike commute day. I folded the bike on the platform, wheeled it onto the train, and unfolded on the other side. That is where the weight shows up. Carrying it upstairs is not fun, so I look for ramps and elevators. Once I am rolling, it does not matter. On days when I bring home groceries, the rear rack handles a loaded bag just fine, and the motor does not complain getting me back to my place. A few thoughtful touches make it easier to live with. The color display is actually readable in bright sun, and the menu is simple. I appreciate that the assist levels are consistent, so level 2 always feels like level 2 no matter the battery percentage, at least until the battery gets very low. The half-twist throttle is better for me than a thumb throttle. It is easier to feather when I want just a little push. The charging port is placed well, so I do not have to wrestle with the cable. And that universal serial bus port on the display kept my phone alive on a long navigation day, which mattered more than I expected. It is not perfect. The external cabling looks messy compared to bikes that cost a lot more. The stock pedals are slick in the rain, so I plan to swap to a grippier pedal with pins. I have seen comments about customer support being slow for some riders. I did not need to contact them, but it is worth knowing. The weight will be a deal breaker if someone needs to carry it up several flights of stairs every day. And if I lived in a very hilly area, I would want a lower first gear or a stronger climbing tune, because steep grades still need real legwork. As a whole package, the Jasion EB7 2.0 wins me over because it does the important things right. It accelerates with confidence, it cruises at real city speeds, it rides comfortably on bad pavement, and it folds fast enough to fit into an everyday routine. I would point this toward riders who live in apartments, commuters who mix transit and riding, and anyone who wants a single bike that can be tossed in a car and taken anywhere without feeling like a compromise on the road. If someone needs an ultralight frame to carry upstairs or wants a giant range without charging, this is not it. For everything else, it is an easy bike to recommend after real use. If this video helped, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment with your questions or your own experience with the Jasion EB7 2.0. Thank you for watching.